back up. But I wanted to talk a little bit about individuals that are very much into smoking cigars, or perhaps you're starting to get into smoking cigars more and more, and you're exploring new things. Of course, you can get domestic cigars all over the place. New World cigars from the Dominican, Nicaragua, everywhere. Good quality cigars too, I might add. But maybe you're thinking, you know what, I'd like some good Cuban cigars. I hear all these good things about Cuban cigars. And of course, it's illegal to purchase Cuban cigars in the United States of America. It has been since the 60s and the embargo against Cuba. But that doesn't mean that you can't get Cuban cigars. What you need to do is just be careful, because if you buy Cuban cigars from someone locally here, I'm just going to give you a realistic number that the chances are probably 90+% that what you're getting is fake and not an actual genuine Cuban cigar. So you really need to keep that in mind if you want to start purchasing Cuban cigars. So there's places that you can purchase them online. There's places in Switzerland and just really all over the world. And of course, if you travel abroad, you know, to Canada, Mexico, Europe, anywhere really, you can get genuine Cuban cigars. Just make sure that you're getting them from a good, reputable place that actually sells Cuban cigars, not off the street from a vendor. But again, like I said, all right, I had purchased some Cuban cigars online, and I had spent a really large chunk of money on these cigars. I had purchased from them a few times, and the cigars were legit. Well, my latest purchase of a very difficult cigar to get, I discovered that it was fake. And that really disappointed me. And it made me think to myself, okay, if they sold me one fake Cuban cigar, how many others have they sold me that have been fake as well? And you have to be so careful, because there's so many counterfeits out there. The cigar that I found out that was fake is a very difficult cigar to get. It is a Cohiba Talisman 2017 limited edition. You're gonna have a very hard time finding these now. That should have been my #1 tip-off. I couldn't find them on a site that I normally purchased from. And this website that I had purchased from before actually had some. Now, there were some inflated prices on these too. This is $150 a stick. So if I'm buying this, I want the real deal. Now, when I got this in the mail, I looked it over. The only thing that was alarming to me initially was the pigtail on the cap was missing. That's not a big deal though, because they can fall off. It just happens. But I was looking at it, and again, just kind of scanning over the cigar, and it looked legit. But one thing I do that every time I get a Cohiba or a Monte Cristo is, first of all, these brands from Habanos, the umbrella group that creates these, goes to great lengths to try and stop counterfeits, or stop you from getting counterfeits. Now, this isn't probably something you're going to do, but it's a foolproof way of telling if you've got a fake Cohiba or not. Let me see if I got it here. Yes, I brought my black light. So what Cohiba does, and so does Monte Cristo, is they have under a black light a serial number that is on every one of these bands that you can only see under the black light. And I know where it's at. It's always on the back of the band, right here. And when you put the black light on it, it'll show you the serial number very clear and bright as day. When I put the black light on it, nothing. Very disappointed. This is a fake. Now I've got a real one here. Let me just do this, because if you look at these two next to each other, it's pretty tough. They did a heck of a job creating this fake Cohiba. I've seen a lot of others that are way worse than this. They went to great lengths to make sure that the counterfeit that they were trying to sell, that I wouldn't know it. Now, there's other ways to do it as well if you've got a good eye, and one of them was you could see the boxes on the top were running into the gold band, and that's another red flag. But if you take a picture of this and zoom in on it, you can just see there's flaking all over on this. It's just a really crummy job when you look at it very, very closely. But what I wanted to do is, and this is a warning, Monte Cristo does the same thing too, by the way. On the back of their band, under a black light, you'll see it will say MC under the black light. And the counterfeits just aren't going to go to those lengths to try and do it because it's expensive to do. But again, they can dupe a lot of people in doing so. But a lot of times, most of the counterfeits are pretty crummy. I've seen, just in probably the recent past week and a half, I've seen a ton of fake Monte Cristos, and I'm not a big fan of Monte Cristo anyways. I just don't think they taste good. But if you smoke a fake Cuban cigar, you have no idea what you're smoking. You really don't. I've seen videos of individuals who have dissected these, and the contents within them are absolutely disgusting. We're talking sweepings from the floor, hair, virtually anything can be found in these because it's a counterfeit and it's not good. And you can taste it. If you smoke if you know what Cuban cigars taste like, they all have a very kind of distinct little twang to them. A fake one, you'll know right away if you've had Cubans. So what I'm gonna do, I wanna show you what's inside of this cigar. So we're gonna dissect this. I'm gonna cut it open. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna snip the cap off. I'm going to remove the wrapper of the cigar, okay? And then I'm gonna get into the binder and I'm gonna remove the binder. Now, a real Cuban cigar should have nice, long, single piece leaves in it. Probably 4, 5, 6 different leaves in it. When you open up the fake ones, and I can tell you that that's what's gonna happen in this, you're gonna see all sorts of little droppings and things falling out of it, broken leaves, and just a bunch of rubbish that, why would you wanna even try and consume one of these? You could easily get sick because it's not authentic. It's made in some sweatshop that who knows what they put in it. So you wanna be so careful of what you are going to consume and what you're buying. You need to be careful. Don't just go buying cigars from guys off the street. You have no idea what you're getting. So I'm gonna take a short little break here. When I come back, we're gonna dissect this.